Quotes for life.
8 highly effective activities to improve for kids. How to improve focus and attention. One of our biggest challenges as parents are getting our children to read. Today's video is about how to get our kids interested in reading and writing. I will talk about this topic divided into 2 parts. First, I will talk about our challenges. That is, the preparations that we have and the end. I will talk about some practical issues. First, when we sit down to teach our children, then we criticize them. They learn at that time. They are not perfect, they are doing nothing, they are not fit to work. As a result, they feel no excitement while studying. Think once, if you face such criticism in your office, will you be more interested in working? Will you do the work with that enthusiasm in that place? Surely not. In addition, as parents, most of our children are losing interest on education. It began when we sat down to read the child in the evening. All day long, my child is unaware of his disability. But when he comes to study, he knows he's not perfect. His line writing goes beyond the mark. He can't read. He can't read as well as others. That means he faces here huge criticism. Here they face many critical comparisons. We compare our child comparison with other people, and most importantly, we are destroying our child's self-esteem. As a result, our child lost interest in studies. Most of the time, most parents don't think about it, that we smash our children's interest for study and self-confidence by our daily criticism. It is very important as a parent to concern about how we are dealing with the child. Our child's mastery of reading is not an easy matter. Have you ever thought about how much we have been able to make education interesting for our children? Learning and understanding rather than just focusing on grades. Let's focus on this. There are many ways to teach. Like, 1. To 10 we can teach him to count by counting a stick or by counting a chocolate. So when we say, I want to teach my child something, then we will teach it in an interesting way. Sometimes school fails to make learning interesting. Again, numerous school is also trying to be good. So in this place, you have to try yourself instead of just depending on the school. Some of our kids like to see, some of the kids like to talk, some of the kids like to draw, some of the kids like to learn through conversation. Therefore, fun should be introduced to the child's education and, most importantly, encourage the child to ask questions. Our children's brains, our brains, work in 2 ways. We call our brain top to bottom works like this. This is how our young children's brains work bottom up, that is, our brains slowly actually grow up. Here comes the maturity of Mashiach. We grow up with time. As much as we can think about a thing logically, our children cannot think like that. Underscore. So we think mathematics is so simple. But asking this question our child, why can't you do it yet, several times is unanswerable. And the frustration that you get from this is indescribable. For the frustration when we hit your child is unreasonable. Maybe your friend's child learns mathematics easily and other subjects. That doesn't mean your child is negligible. Here is the thing to keep in mind. School has a fixed curriculum. 200 children attend school together. If we don't understand that our child is unique, we will find that we have set up a routine, set up an expectation for our child, and chase after it when the child is unable to fulfill it. Maybe we didn't discover that my friendship has become so light. So we should concern about our child's physical and mental development. The ability to concentrate and focus is a critical life skill. This video gives you 8 simple yet highly effective activities that will help improve your child's Concentration. Point no. 1. That helps setting healthy boundary. It means we never actually say that we will not make the child read. When he says, "I will not read now," we will accept that immediately. The first thing, we should give priority to the child. Then we ask, "You don't read it now, then read it?" We will listen to whatever subject he wants to study. Then we will set the content, time, and subject of teaching according to the importance of his opinion. The ability to concentrate and focus is a critical life skill. This video gives you 8 simple yet highly effective activities that will help improve your child's concentration. Isn't it funny how your child can focus on their favorite video game or TV program for hours at a time? But when you ask them to tackle their homework, their attention starts to wander within minutes. Learning to concentrate can be a difficult task for primary school children. Experts believe that typically a child can concentrate hard for 3 to 5 minutes for every year of their life. So, for example, a 5-year-old may be able to focus for around 15 minutes, while a 10-year-old can stay on the task for the best part of an hour. However, many children find it hard to concentrate for even short spaces of time, particularly if the activity they're working on doesn't engage them or if there are a lot of distractions. But it is possible to improve their attention and focus without it feeling like a chore for you or your child. Try these fun learning ideas for size. Spot the difference. Spot the difference and all done-out games are brilliant for getting children to pay attention to small details. It's a fun game that helps your child to concentrate, think, and learn to notice those details. You can tailor them to your child's age and ability, and they also have the benefit of being portable and readily available online, which makes them perfect for travel or waiting rooms puzzles, where your child has to spot a hidden object in a picture, such as Find the Panda. Pictures are also good for developing concentration. Copying. Copying pictures. This exercise will help your child get better at sitting still and focusing on the work in front of them. Give them a picture. A simple illustration from a coloring book is ideal, and a sheet of blank paper for them to copy it onto. Ask them to concentrate on copying the picture for a short period of time, as little as 30 seconds at first. Then give their arms a good shake to get rid of energy and tension, and then do another 30 seconds, copy, and so on as they get better at focusing. You can increase the time they spend copying and reduce the number of breaks they get. Teach them the signs that will show you that they are concentrating. Bottom on seat, head down, and pencil moving to remind them to stay on task. Counting. Counting may be second nature to your child, but counting backward, especially in numbers other than 1, requires them to really apply themselves to the task and helps boost concentration skills. Try giving them a random number, say 161, and then ask them to count backward in 3s. It's more challenging than it sounds and forces them to engage their brain and shut out distractions. Dancing. Dancing games on an Xbox or other such consoles where your child has to copy a dance sequence shown on screen is brilliant for boosting concentration. Skills for kids who find it hard to sit still and focus on tabletop exercises. They also help develop processing speed and motor skills and will help a fidgety child burn off excess energy too. Kim's game. Playing kids' game is a good way of developing your child's memory skills and concentration. Put 10 things from around the house either on a tray or on the floor. It could be things like a pencil, a ball, a toy, etc., and ask your child to look carefully at them for about 30 seconds. Then you can cover the objects and then ask your child to call out whatever they remember. Another way of playing the game is to cover the things. Take one thing away and ask the child to spot what is missing. You can then put more things on the tray or on the floor as they get better. Mindful coloring. Mindful coloring and doodling are big news amongst adults at the moment. helping to take our minds off everyday distractions and focus on the task in front of us. And it's just as beneficial for kids too. Start by drawing a series of small circles on a sheet of paper and have your child color these circles as neatly as possible, staying within the lines. And since these circles are small, they should take only a minute or so. The next day, draw slightly larger circles that will take them a little longer to color as your child's ability to focus improves. You can introduce bigger shapes and more complex patterns that will take them longer to complete, helping to extend the amount of time they can concentrate for memory game. This traditional game is a good group exercise that you can play with your child and their siblings or friends or in your classroom. And that often ends with much hilarity. Sitting in a circle or around a table, the first person says, "I went to the supermarket and I bought," and then names an item, starting with, for example, an avocado. The next person then repeats the sentence and names an object starting with B, but also has to recall the first person's answer. "So I went to the supermarket and I bought a ball and an avocado." Carry on through the alphabet, seeing how many objects you can remember before it falls apart. This is a great exercise for building memory skills, as well as developing concentration. Counting words. Counting words is a good exercise for young kids who struggle with concentration. Take a book and choose a paragraph of text for your child to look at. The aim is not for them to read it, but to count every word in that paragraph. Once they've counted each word, get them to go back and count again. Did they get the same answer? If not, get them to count again. If they did, next time you can give them a different or longer paragraph to work through. It's impossible to let your mind wander when you're paying such close attention to detail. Now, which activity are you going to try? And why? Please leave a comment. Would you like to know about some of the common reasons for lack of concentration and focus? And 9 great tips to help your child focus better and gain the great feeling of accomplishment. Then watch this video.